Is there beauty within depression? I know that just assuming such a thing will upset some of you watching, but before you criticize me, please hear me out and watch the entire video, and after that, I'll take any criticism you have for me, because if I can at least help one of you by asking this question, then that's a risk I'm willing to take. But before we get into that, I'd like to introduce you all to the Made2Express YouTube channel. He's an incredible YouTuber that does similar videos to mine. His channel is all about analyzing cartoons and movies and trying to derive a deep and motivational message from it. So make sure to check him out and to support him by subscribing, because today he'll be the very first guest on the channel. And together, we'll be looking at a South Park episode that tackles depression and heartbreak in a beautiful manner. A South Park episode that may just change your perspective on life.
This is it. Time to stop feeling sorry for yourself and come home. Everyone cares about you and everyone wants you back.
People shouldn't care about me, because I don't care about them. What's the point of caring when all it brings is pain?
For sure.
Today, we'll be looking at the South Park episode named Raisins. The episode starts off with Stan being told that his girlfriend Wendy wants to break up with him. The boys make fun of the situation, implying that Stan doesn't care at all. But to their shock, Stan is completely taken aback by it and leaves the group without uttering a single word. Stan then falls into a deep state of depression. Wherever he goes, he sees Wendy. His entire life seems like a huge gaping abyss of meaninglessness. There is nothing he wants to do and no one he wants to meet. In his eyes, life is only pain, nothing more and nothing less. His friends see the state he's in, and so they try to cheer him up by going with him to Raisins, a restaurant where all the food and drinks are served by underdressed girls, basically making this a Hooters party. And while all the boys are enjoying the time of their life, Stan can't even bring himself to look up from his plate. He's still utterly devastated, so he leaves once again. And not long after, he finds out that Wendy already has a new boyfriend. He then loses all hope, and so he becomes part of the goth kids. He begins wearing dark clothes, consuming large amounts of coffee, and delving deeper and deeper into his depression. He's now officially part of the kids that have completely given up on life. The kids that don't see any beauty in it whatsoever.
But there's only blackness, dark, depressing loneliness that eats at your soul.
But if life is only pain, then what's the point of living?
Meanwhile, our beloved Butters is enjoying his new girlfriend. You see, at Raisins he fell deeply in love with this one waitress named Lexus. And for good reason as well. I mean, they have so much in common and their passion for each other runs incredibly deep. Well, at least that's what he thinks. Because in truth, she's only exploiting him for money. And once his parents enlighten him to the current state of things, Lexus comes out and admits that she never really cared for him. Butters is then left heartbroken. Everything he thought to be true was simply a lie. All of his emotions shattered at once. We are then brought to the next scene where Butters is crying out in pain. Everything hurts and he can't bear any of it any longer. And now that he has reached his lowest point, our goth kids come along to recruit him. They offer him an existence based on writing poems about death and how pointless life is. But Butters refuses. He tells them that although he's incredibly sad and depressed, he still loves life. His heart aches like it never did before, but in a weird way, he's happy that anything could even make him feel this sad at all. And it's here that he makes Stan realize that life can't just consist of all the good times. To truly value life, you have to take the bad with the good, because without the bad, you would never be able to truly appreciate the good that comes after. Your life would be mediocre at best, and you would never have any drive to improve upon it. Because although depression is something truly horrible, we can all choose to find beauty within it.
But you just got dumped. Well, yeah, and I'm sad. But at the same time, I'm really happy that something can make me feel that sad. The only way I can feel this sad now is if I felt something really good before. So I have to take the bad with the good. So I guess what I'm feeling is like a beautiful sadness. I guess that sounds stupid.
Stan Marsh learned an incredibly important lesson in this episode. After talking to Butters and accepting his philosophy, he realizes that life will have so many hard times to throw at him, and so it's best for him to learn how to deal with them the right way. And the best way to do that is to accept the good with the bad, to accept that without hard times, the good times of life can't be truly appreciated. Life can't just be a collection of rainbow-filled moments. One has to accept the sadness in life in order to be able to feel true happiness. And the fact that hardship is inevitable shouldn't be something depressing. It should be something motivational. Because in the end, every hardship you overcome will allow you to grow and to learn from it. But I know that this is obviously easier said than done. It's not easy to try and look at the beauty of life when all you can experience is pain and sadness. It's not easy to look ahead when all that you're haunted by lies in the past. But as hard as it may be, once you move past that, you can truly experience beauty. Like a caterpillar who has to live in darkness and fear for days on end before he can turn into a magnificent butterfly. So can you one day outgrow this pain and witness the true beauties in all the colors of life?
Before I move on, I want to stress the importance of what I'm about to say. Depression is not beautiful in and of itself. As I mentioned in my latest Tom and Jerry video, I have had to go through a seriously depressed period in my life where everything seemed dull, grey and empty. I was then forced to uncover dark and sinister parts of my own self. I was completely stuck in an endless abyss of meaninglessness. Everything hurt, but at the same time, I was also getting numb to all the pain. The weather outside, for example, could have been great, but within, all I saw and all I experienced was a grey and lifeless form of rain. And as much as I don't like to admit it, I would be lying if I said that I didn't think of ending it all at one point. But what I truly believe is that if you choose to, you can find beauty within depression, or maybe better put, beauty within experiencing it. As someone who has had to deal with it myself, I truly understand now what Butters meant when he said that feeling this broken and torn up inside will allow him to experience even greater and more beautiful moments in the future. Because when you know what awaits you on the other side, you are way more likely to appreciate what you have in the present. Nowadays, for example, every day for me is just such an incredibly wondrous day, because no matter how bad it gets, it doesn't compare to true depression. All those rainy days were incredibly hard to go through, and I'm aware that they may return in the future. But now, I'm not scared of them anymore. Even at the current moment, knowing how awful it felt during all of it, I'm not afraid that they may return, because I'll know to see the beauty within it. Because even hating rain as much as I do, as awful as it makes me feel, the truth is that I can't rely on sunny days alone to ever witness a rainbow. If I truly want to see all the colors of the rainbow and all the beauties life has to offer, I need to accept sun and rain into my life. I need to be able to take the bad with the good, because without the bad, without rain, I would never be able to witness another rainbow ever again. I would be left living a mediocre life with mediocre friends, and then, in the end, I would simply die a mediocre death. Because without having gone through the depression I went through, I probably would have never gotten the necessary push to change my life for the better, and I'm eternally grateful for that. But I'm also aware that this is coming from someone who's gone past depression and not someone who is currently dealing with it. And so, I'd like to let you all know, once again, that I don't think that depression is something to take lightly, but that I simply believe that it is something that has a great potential of improving your life if you only understand its importance. That life will not always be sunny, but also not always be rainy. That you have to take in the good and the bad to truly value what life has to offer, and to truly appreciate all the colors of the rainbow. All the true beauties of your life. Whenever you are feeling low, your life hollow, trapped in deep sorrow, remember, one day you will outgrow and be able to see the rainbow. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe and check out one of my previous videos right here. This channel is all about looking at video games and pop culture from a different perspective, about digging deeper into the meaning of life and how we can get there with video games, movies, and TV shows. So if that interests you, maybe subscribe, maybe hit the bell to be notified. What about that, huh? Yeah? Okay, good. See ya!